Hello everyone, it's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and today we are training 59 minutes of chess. And before we get into it, I just wanted to start by saying that it is now or never to lock in and put in some serious work before my summer of tournaments. I basically realized, these last few days I've been completely derailing in the sense that I played this Crazy House World Championship, and then I've kind of been procrastinating by playing Crazy House on Lichess. And I found that actually it's worsening my chess. I tried doing some of my coach's calculation exercises yesterday, and I realized that I was even considering Crazy House combinations within the exercises. And I tried playing some online chess yesterday, and I was playing terribly because my intuition feels completely off, given all of the Crazy House I've been playing. Long story short, I am, stopping the Crazy House for the foreseeable future, at least until after these tournaments. And it just made me realize that, I've actually only got, 2-3 weeks to go before this tournament. So I want to get my openings in gear, which I will do off stream. I want to keep training my calculation. I want to try and play as much chess as possible. If I'm feeling agitated and need to play some chess, then I just need to train. And when I'm in the mood to play well, then I play. So basically, now or never to get locked in. And having 4 tournaments in a row where I can basically potentially play at my peak, this is an opportunity I should take lightly. So basically, time to get serious. So let's get training. We're going to continue with Woodpecker method. Let's keep up with these intermediate exercises. Welcome to the stream, Prane. Let's learn together. Okay. So, Alyakin to beat Herman, Black to play Zurich 1934. Okay, we've got Queen, Rook, Bishop, Queen, Rook, Knight, Knight. So they've got an extra piece. We've got 4, 6, 4. So we've got 2 pawns for the piece. The king is in the center on e1. The rook is loose on h1. Our rook and queen are on the 7th rank. Our bishop is also pressuring the knight on e2. Our king does have a window. Also, back rank doesn't seem so easy. The knights are defending each other. We should look out for all of our checks, including a move like queen a5, which I would typically miss. So, basically we want to win a material and enter a winning endgame. That's the goal here. So, what candidate moves do we have? We should look at all of our checks. So, rook e2, queen a5. We should look at our captures as well. Bishop e2, rook c1. And we should look at our threats. What threats do we have? Maybe queen c4. Yeah, not really seeing any other threats. So let's start calculating. So, okay, let's imagine if we go rook e2. Well, then they can't take with the queen because of bishop, so they would need to take with the knight if they don't want to be down a piece. And then do we have any follow-up there? Really don't think so. So what about queen a5? They cannot block. What else can they do? If they run, do we have a follow-up? Maybe we've got like rook e7, rook d2 as an idea. I also want to look at this rook c1 a bit more before we tunnel vision, because if queen takes, then queen takes e2. And if they take with the knight, maybe now we have something. Man. And queen c4, I mean, I don't even see the threat. I'll check chat soon just in case someone gives the answer away. Which I'm encouraging you guys to do. Like, you should try and put in an answer if you're new to the stream. But I won't look at the answer until I've given my answer. So Queen A5... If they play King F2... I mean, they can play King F2 or King F1. I really don't see how we follow up. And what was our other captures? I mean, Queen B2 looks kind of interesting as well. Like, maybe the threat is to play like this, but no, the knight can always take back. Yeah, I really don't know. And what about Bishop E2? That was the other capture. So they just take with the knight. I'm looking at all the different ideas here, like Queen A5 check, just King F1. Oh, man. Am I missing like some idea altogether? I don't know. I mean, okay, maybe this Bishop A4 could be a threat as well. How about that? Although I still don't see a game-winning threat. I mean, where do we put this rook? I mean, they can always take with the queen or take with the queen, I mean. Man. Jesus, I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, I'm even thinking of something like Bishop E2 and then going like Rook here or something to try and play for this, but it's just so slow. And they can always be blocking. I mean, I don't get it. Don't see it. Okay, let me go through all of the candidates one by one once more. I mean, I've looked at them like 5 times each, but I don't see anything. Queen A5 check. Let's say they go King F1. We can go Rook D2. We can try take one of the knights. I mean, maybe there's something there actually, right? Maybe if we go like Bishop takes, Knight takes, Rook takes. No, we're never getting something on the back rank. They can always block. I have no idea. And Rook E2, just Knight E2. Yeah, it's just there's literally nothing in this position. I don't get it. And I see chat popping off, so I mean, clearly I've missed something here. Rook takes c1, knight takes c1 is forced. I mean, that's promising, but just don't see what you do after. Could it be queen g2? Rook c1, knight c1, queen g2? Maybe it's just queen g2 actually. That's a very nice move. I did not see that. I guess, like, yeah, at the start when I identified that this is a hanging piece, I should be trying to exploit it in some way. I don't know, it just was not on my radar to look for this. That looks really good. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be this one. Nice, okay. I'm glad we pushed and got there in the end. Okay, let's see how many people got this. Okay, I'm seeing queen c4, I'm seeing rook d2, and then from Bent Carl Christensen, we've got rook takes c1, followed by queen g2. Fantastic. Good job for finding that first. I've got loads of new people to the stream. Bent, Grayson, yo, what's up? Sesoy, Mihai. Yeah, welcome everyone to the stream. We are training Woodpecker Method. I am basically trying to train my tactics in order to get good for my first classical chess events in almost a whole year. So, yeah, this is... Oh, there's no rook f1 because there's a bishop on b5. How can he take my queen if I take the knight? I don't know what line you're talking about. Yeah, rook c1 is the solution. You got it, Burko. Yeah, okay, you guys have got that. Nice. Okay, let's do another one. So Alyakin against Boglyubov. White is a piece off, but must solve the threats on e2, e1, and g2. Yeah, so there's checkmate ideas. There is rook on the queen ideas. And we need to somehow solve this. And we are a piece up. Are we a completely clean piece up? No, we're a piece for a pawn. Piece for 2 pawns. So we're not a whole piece up. Okay, we're a piece for 2 pawns up. So I mean, instinctively then I want to play rook c8, because then I distract the bishop and then I can take the rook and I avoid this checkmate. I mean, do I have any other checks in the starting position? I don't, right? So I mean, this looks like almost forced. And they don't have to take, they can play king f7 as well. But let's just double check. If they take on c8, then I take here. Is this winning? I mean, yeah, we don't have time to take my bishop because I'm already threatening checkmate. So rook c8, bishop c8. Queen here, and it's over, right? Okay, so in that case, king f7 is forced. And then what? Rook c8, king f7, rook c7 check. Or maybe rook c8, king f7, queen h5 check. Maybe that's even stronger. Rook c8, king f7. I mean, we've also got bishop c4 check. That might be even smoother. So rook c8, king f7. Let's actually just calculate one of these. Let's imagine bishop c4 check. Black can go king e7, king f6, or king g6. If they go king f6, I'm pretty sure that's a bad idea because they go king f8 check. It's such a long line. It's such a long line. I mean, it looks promising, but there could be so many errors in this calculation. So rook c8, king f7. Is there a better, more forcing continuation here? So what about this queen h5 check? Rook c8 check, king f7, queen h5 check. then that looks more promising, right? Because on king e7, there's a check on e8, and on king f6, there's a check on f8. So that feels a lot more secure. Queen and rook hunting down that king. Knight involved as well. Bishop involved as well. I mean, that looks like it's going to mate. So rook c8, king f7, queen h5. If queen g6 to block. Well, I mean, we can take on g6 and take on e5. And that would be winning. So queen h5, let's say pawn to g6 in that position. Well, then we can go queen takes h7. King f6. Maybe rook f8 check. King g5. And then maybe I'm in trouble there. So I'm looking at rook c8, king f7, queen h5. Pawn to g6. Bishop c4 also looks very promising there. But then king g7. So what about... Okay, this looks so right. I mean, to take and get this position. But I'm just not seeing the follow-up from there. I guess maybe we can bring in the knight. Maybe like knight d7, king g5. The problem is like I can't, bail out and take this rook because I'm still getting checkmated in one. So I just need something against this queen h5, g6. If bishop c4, king f6, and we go rook f8. No, they're not going to go king f6, they're going to go king g7. I don't... Oh no, we do have rook c7 check. It's got to be winning. Yeah, if king f6 has rook f7 mate. King g8 with queen h7 with check and then mate. And if king f8, we can go queen h6 check. And if they keep running, at the very least we can take this and we get out of the checkmate and their king is still weak. So I think this is winning then. I think this is winning. And queen h5. Yeah. So I needed to make sure that I was completely winning in all variations, because you never know if the king finds like a safe square. Yeah, so this was the first idea, which I just said at the very least I can do this, because I saw that we can recapture the bishop on c8 and we're up material. And if they go g6, what was my line in the end? I said bishop c4, right? And the point is on king g7, then rook c7. Yeah, this is what I was looking at. And here we've got the check, and the point is as soon as they come to e8. Okay, I missed a mate in 2, but it doesn't matter. It's more important that I just see that I'm not getting checkmated with this rook e5. Yeah. And then from here I said the king is still weak, and that's good enough. So, okay, we got there. Nice. Okay, let's have a look at what chat is saying. So, we got rook c8, king f7, queen h5. Very nice, Sesoy. And Burko g6, king f7, bishop c4. Fantastic. Okay, you guys have got it. Okay, welcome to a Russian name I cannot pronounce. If you can give your name in English, then I can help pronounce it better. And welcome the dog and music. Okay, we've got many new viewers today. Basically, I am just training for my upcoming tournaments, doing Woodpecker method. And yeah, feel free to train alongside me. And put your answers in chat. I will not read them until I finish the exercise myself. So, okay, next exercise, we've got Alyakin against Boglyubov again. white to play. So at first we should always evaluate the position. So we've got 2 rooks, 2 knights against 2 rooks, bishop, knight. We've got 4 pawns against 5 pawns. No, we've got 5 pawns. What are we talking about? 5, 5. Okay, there's 5 pawns each. They've got bishop against knight. What else can we note? We've got the rook putting some x-ray pressure over here. Our knights are protecting each other, but there's a lot of pressure. Maybe the king is feeling a bit nervous. This is a passed pawn. They've got a majority on this side. King is maybe a bit exposed to potential checks. And okay, any loose pieces? So actually everything is protected. Okay, so white to play. Probably then we want to, protect our knights. Because as it stands, we're losing 2 knights for a rook, which is good for black here. So we want to get out of that, but also ideally maybe win some material along the way would be very nice. So, candidate moves. Well, we should always consider our checks, so 96 and 97. We should also consider our captures, so that means rook d5 must be looked at. We should look at our threats as well. Maybe this is achieving something, opening up this file if they take. Any other threats? This is way too good to be true. Okay, so let's start calculating. So, or visualizing. So let's imagine if 97, well then we're just going to take it. Have we achieved anything with this? Don't think so. Okay, if we go 96. Well then they just go knight takes. Again, don't see anything there. So what about the captures? What about rook takes d5? But if they go rook takes, maybe there's some potential for some fork. So let's calculate what happens if pawn takes. Do we have anything at all? Maybe we could consider pushing, but then they can always take. And if takes, looks pretty hopeless. I mean, we've got this one check, king c7. And I don't see why we go from there. Oh, maybe we've got rook check. And if we force the rooks off, I mean, are we actually queening? Wow, we're actually queening that. Okay, so maybe that is promising. Rook takes d5, and then just pushing e6. Because where can they go with that rook? If they, like, move rook c7 or something. I mean, then we can push again. And at the very, very, very least, if king d7, we can queen. And then just make this big trade. Well, we'll have this knight endgame or pawn down. Maybe that's not so good. Like knight and rook against knight and rook or pawn down. Okay, before we tunnel vision this any further, it does look promising. We'll come back to it. This rook takes d5. Let's just consider our threats. So what about e6 immediately? Okay, what if they take it? Well, then actually, are we not just winning a piece? So what if they take the knight? We take, they take. And again, we give this check. King c7. Maybe this is an even more forcing version. Because now we go rook takes d5. And if they take, then we go check. So yeah, it looks like e6 is just a more forcing version. Because if they can't take because of knight takes, then this is just like really strong. And if like they move the rook or something, again we can push. Looks extremely promising, and we haven't sacrificed anything yet. So it looks like e6 should be stronger. Seeing if I missed anything. E6 takes. think it works. I think it works. Yeah. So the key point was to give this check while the pawn is covering this square, the rook is covering this square. I've kind of learned this through like analyzing my games and missing this like 1,000 times. Okay, so apparently that's alternative. I guess taking the bishop is equally as strong. I always never play what Alekhine intended to play. I always play the alternative. Our brains do not work in the same way. But okay, this was nice. Okay, Cecil says e6, rook g7, knight g7, rook g7, rook f8, king c7, rook d5, cd, and rook f7. Fantastic, Cecil. I mean, also glad that you gave the same continuation as me. Irina is the name. Okay, welcome, Irina. And pony to d6, maybe. I don't think so, because even though it is a check, they can just take that knight with the black knight. And yeah, the problem was in the start. I guess you do deal with the fact that your knight is hanging, but you lose a pawn in the process. So yeah, as a last-ditch resort, it's probably okay. But yeah, this e6 is stronger. So yeah, nice exercise there. Okay, let's keep it going. We've got 34 minutes of the stream. Let's keep going. Welcome, Gloin, to the stream as well. Okay, so we've got queen, rook, rook, queen, rook, rook, bishop, knight, bishop, bishop. We've got 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got knight against bishop. Immediately I'm seeing, can we just play this? Can we just do this and then just go checkmate? I mean, if we play this and they try and block us in some way, I mean, we can take on c2 potentially. I mean, material's equal, so this feels too good to be true though. What else can they try and throw in? I mean, if they attack us, we can always take and then take. So is it just knight e3? Knight e3, they push c5, we take, they take. I don't know. Probably we just take back and yeah, we're completely winning. No checks? I mean, this really looks completely winning. Okay, let's go for it. Okay, so maybe I should have seen what happens if they don't take the knight. But at the very least, we have a move to bail out. I mean, rook takes looks very tempting, but then maybe this is going to be unnecessarily messy. No, because I can take it. Okay, what if they push the pawn? Is that also very messy? It looks very messy. The problem with queen takes pawn is they can do this and then win the knight at the end. Oh my god, arrows. Okay, so I mean, we've won a pawn already. I mean, this is already good. And just go back knight g4. Feels decent, but maybe there's something better. Maybe knight g4 is the best. I really don't see something better than this. So, okay, there we go. And any in-between moves? I don't think so. Okay, so it's simply to just win a pawn. So, knight e3, queen c3 was played. Oh, this is checkmate? Excuse me? Did I see that this was checkmate? Yeah, of course I saw it was checkmate. I just completely forgot. Yeah, I don't know why. That's a really weird, brain memory loss. Whoopsie. Let's call it that. Forgotten all my vocabulary as well. So knight e4, instead, knight c4 was played. Bishop c4, and then rook d4, trying to be cheeky, but bishop e2, and black has no good discovered checks. Wow. Yeah, this is why it's like, you shouldn't always try and get too much out of a position. Sometimes being a bit too fancy can lead to unexpected problems. So this would have simply been good enough. Keeps the pawn, although opposite colored bishops gives white fair compensation. However, black's best was clearly to take on e3 since it would be so passive to retreat the knight when white would have enjoyed a clear advantage. So better to be unclear than be worse. Pronunciation is Irina, not Irina. Okay, good to know, Irina. I will try my best to keep up with these. You have to allow me some time to adjust though, because I remember, for instance, I'm teaching a student in a group lesson called Gabriel, and I would call him Gabriel every single time because I used to teach another student called Gabriel, not Gabriel. So these names. I mean, it's just too difficult for me to keep up with. But I will try my best, Irina. I appreciate the clarification. Okay, let's keep going. So we've got half an hour to go before this torture ends. For anyone who's new to the stream, I really hate doing this, by the way. So, yeah. But I have to do it if I want to actually get good. So this is why we're here. Okay, more Aliakin. We got Queen, Rook, Rook, Queen, Rook, Rook, Bishop, Knight, Bishop, Knight. 4, 5, 4, 6. Okay, so we are pawn down. Knight takes e6 is like the move that jumps out. But, okay, we need to, of course, calculate. So it's equal material. No, it's not equal material. I'm a pawn down. I literally said that at the start. So pawn down. What to note about the position? So the bishop's on a beautiful diagonal cutting into the black king side, which is damaged. Our knight is well placed on d4. Our rooks are a little bit passive, although the rook on b1 is still decent. Can potentially enter on b7. The queen can get involved on g4. The black queen is defending laterally across the board. Pressure on the knight on c4. Bishop on a4 is loose. Okay, definitely feels like we could have something here. So, what candidate moves are there? We've got our checks. We've got queen g4. We've got bishop h7. What captures do we have? We've got bishop takes c4. We've got knight takes e6. We've got rook takes b7. I mean, bishop takes c4 is interesting because maybe you dislodge the queen onto c4 and then the queen can enter with queen g4. Possibly. Without getting blocked with queen g5. So maybe that's the interesting aspect. But okay, so we've got queen g4, bishop h7. We've got bishop c4, rook b7, knight e6. Any threats in the position? Okay, so I don't see any other threats, so let's actually start calculating. So bishop h7 looks horrendous, just king h7, nothing bad. Okay, what about queen g4 check? Queen g4, I mean queen g5 is like the critical move. Do we have a follow-up? Queen g4, queen g5, maybe queen e4. Does that have any follow-up either? Maybe they just go f5, queen e5, and the queen is kind of working on its own. Yeah, not a fan of queen g4. So what about our captures? What about this knight e6, which was my instinct? Knight e6, pawn e6, queen g4. If they block queen g5, now I've got queen takes e6. Black's got a number of moves. Let's say king h8. Is there anything there? Maybe queen f7, threatening mate on h7. And they can go queen g7 to block it all up. And it looks like attack is slowing down. We do have the rook that can potentially enter. So was there a way I could enter with the rook in that line? Knight e6, pawn e6, queen g4, queen g5, queen takes e6, king h8. Maybe here, rook b7. Rook takes b7. Looks very strong. That looks tremendously strong, in fact. So knight e6, pawn e6, queen g4. What if they try like king f7? Well then, again, rook takes b7. I mean, looks very good. Probably other moves look good as well. So knight e6 looks extremely promising. Knight e6. Can they do anything else aside from take the knight? Not really. No checks, no nothing. No attacks on our queen, nothing. So knight e6, pawn e6, queen g4, queen g5. Queen e6. What if they try king f8? We can go rook takes b7 still. Looks extremely good. Okay, let's keep the music going. Yeah, looks very, very good. So knight e6. So we didn't have to look at this bishop c4. I'm already very happy with the continuation here. King h8 immediately. I wish I had looked at this. I only looked at queen g5, thinking that was the best try. What is going on? Why is it not working? Okay, there we go. Okay, so where was I? I think actually rook b7 makes most sense, because if black tries to defend with queen g5, now I can go rook h7 and queen e6, and I kind of get the same thing. So rook b7 feels better than, say, queen g6, where maybe a move like rook c7 can hold. Although there's queen f6, so let's think. Which one's better, rook b7 or queen g6? Is there even a difference? There possibly is. I mean, rook b7, maybe there's actually rook c7. So queen g6, I mean, this is literally threatening checkmate. How do they defend? Maybe queen e7. Sorry, rook b7? At the very least, I can trade, right? I can trade him and win the knight, and then I'll be a piece for a pawn up. I think rook b7 is correct. Yeah, and then we just trade everything and we stay a piece up. Oh, we sacrificed the knight. I forgot we sacrificed the knight. Hold on. So rook c7, queen c7. If we go queen c4, bishop c4, we are only one pawn up. That will be a bit of a grind to win. I mean, is that really the best we've got? I mean, we can also take and then take on e6. I mean, maybe we can just argue that being 2 pawns up is good enough. The king is still weak. Or maybe queen e4. Threaten some stuff, but I actually don't see the threat. That's the problem. They're not forced to capture, in which maybe then we would have something. Queen e4, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they even go like f5 or something, and maybe we get too fancy and we lose. Probably have to play like some queen f3. I mean, takes and takes, it really looks decent. I mean, we're still hitting the knight, we're hitting f6. Do we have a way to defend both? I don't think so. Yeah, no, this should be enough. This should be enough. And in this position, yeah, keeping the queens on with weak black king in mind. However, since the alternative is also good, you do not need to make the decision before playing knight e6. Okay, let's just double check if queen takes e6 is also good. I forgot that we can... What am I talking about? Oh, it's so stupid. Like, I realized when I take the piece, I'm only a pawn up because I sacrificed the knight. But then I forget that if I take on e6, I haven't taken the knight yet. So here I'm just winning a pawn, but still a piece down. I forgot that I don't have the piece. I thought I take on e6 and I'm up a piece and 2 pawns. I'm just not counting. So this is just awful. So yeah, I guess then we have to take the knight, and bishop c4 is the better way given the black king is weak. Keep the queens on. I just thought we'd take the pawn and we're actually 2 pawns up, but I forgot we still haven't taken the knight. So yeah, this is the kind of like bullshit my brain does sometimes, which is why, you know, the more we practice this, the more we realize it's a potential error, and we hope that we are improving on this aspect. And I know I'm improving on this aspect from doing all of this. So we just got to keep going. Yeah. So careless mistake there, but okay, we got the first move correct, which is important. Okay, this time Aliakin against Winter. Black to play. Okay, I'm already getting a bit tired. I mean, I guess these are critical positions after all. But okay, let's keep going. So queen, rook, rook, bishop, knight, knight. Queen, rook, rook, bishop, knight, knight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so equal material. Irina asks, are these puzzles or what is this? This is our classic question every stream. Yeah, I should definitely make a note somewhere on the screen so people don't have to ask. But yeah, no, this is just a Woodpecker method. It's a book that got converted into a Chessable format, and Chessable is a website where you can buy different courses to improve your chess, and I actually have a course myself which you can check out in the description below. So if you use that link and then you can search for the Woodpecker method, you can find out about this tactics book. Yeah, there's more to just solving tactics, but I use it just to solve tactics, this book. I feel like they're a good level to kind of calculate and, get in shape. So that's what I use it for. Oh, there's actually in Nottingham. That's very cool. So very close to where I was living. Okay, so it's equal material. The white king is in the center. Our king is a little bit safer. There's only one color bishop on the board, which is dark squares. We've got this huge battery on the e file. Our knight on a5 is loose. I mean, let's ask ourselves. I mean, okay, we should probably calculate a bit more first and consider more factors and candidate moves. But I mean, this looks very tempting, right? Well, what happens if we trade everything on this square, like this, and the king takes at the end, and then we just go knight g3. Like, what happens? And we just get this big trade. I mean, are we winning this or something, or not? It's definitely not clear at all. I mean, it's equal material, so really it could be anyone's game. So in that case, yeah, let's actually consider our candidate move. So rook takes e2, of course, is a candidate. Maybe that queen is running out of squares. Maybe that's potential. So okay, we don't have any checks. What captures do we have? We've got rook takes e2, we've got knight takes d4, we've got bishop takes f4, we've got knight takes b3. In terms of threats, we've got rook e3. Don't see anything else. Maybe queen b5. Attack the knight from a different angle, but don't see what that does. Although queen b5 maybe is in connection with trying to sack on b3. Okay, so we got a bunch of candidates. So again, rook e2 wins a knight. They're not forced to capture back. I mean, they do have potential ideas like knight takes f6, hitting our queen, but after rook e1, rook e1, rook e1, bishop e1, I mean, we can always move the queen, and we've won a knight. So rook e2, let's assume rook e2. And then we go rook takes e2, and we go queen takes e2. In that position, queen takes e2, king takes e2. We're down in exchange, so knight g3 check, king f2, knight takes f1, king takes f1. And in that position, I don't see any way to play. I mean, our pawn on f6 is hanging, so we probably need to push f5. In which they can either go knight e5, and then if we have to take that knight, bishop takes e5, they take back and get a pass pawn. I think this even looks better for white. So I don't like rook e2. We do actually have a check. I completely missed that we have a check, so let's have a look at this check. If I go knight e3 check, we go knight takes, rook takes, bishop takes, rook takes. Oh, that looks very promising, actually. I mean, this is why you have to look for your checks. I mean, I just didn't see it. Knight e3 check. Knight e3 check. Knight e3 check looks very strong. Knight e3 check. If they just go king c1, at the very, very, very least, we can just take the rook on f1. So knight e3 check forces a capture. Knight e3 check, let's say they go knight takes e3 check. Sorry, knight e3 check, knight takes e3. Then I would want to go rook takes e3, bishop takes e3, rook takes e3, we're down in exchange. But we have a huge attack. In that position though, one move I'm a little bit scared of is after knight e3 check, knight takes, rook takes, bishop takes, rook takes. What if they do a discovery with this knight? What if they play a move like knight c1? Because then we can't take the queen without losing our queen. Am I right in saying that? Knight e3 check, knight takes e3, rook takes e3, bishop e3, rook takes e3, yeah. So if they go knight c1, am I actually busted there? That's crazy. Yeah, that looks winning for white. Actually, this knight c1. So knight e3, rook e3, bishop e3. There's really no way to avoid this line of knight c1. Looks very strong. Especially when they take on e8 with check. Yeah, it's just not working. So, can we change the move order slightly? What if we start like rook e3? They take with a knight. It's kind of the same thing. Yeah. So what other candidates did I have? I also had knight takes d4, which didn't make too much sense. We can take it with a knight. I think that's perfectly fine. Bishop takes f4. I mean, bishop takes f4. If they take with the queen, then we can take on e2. And maybe that's okay. Looks a bit dodgy though. Bishop f4. If they take with a knight. Looks good for white. And then you got these ideas like knight takes b3, pawn b3, queen b5, but it just looks so slow. Like king c3. King c2, but the thing is then maybe the knight is vulnerable, you know? Maybe there is something with this. I can't distract these pieces in a way to make knight e3 work. I mean, if I really don't see anything, I mean, queen b5 looks like such a nice move to add some very, very frustrating pressure on white's position. What if they play like knight c1? Try and liquidate everything? Maybe knight c1 again is very strong. Knight e3, rook e3, bishop e3, rook e3, knight c1. Oh, calculate until the end. Knight e3, rook e3, bishop e3. Rook e3, knight c1. I do take the queen. Because if they take my queen with check, I go king d7. But they then take my rook on f3. I take their rook on e8. And I think I'm still down in exchange. They've got a knight on c1, a rook on f3, and I've just got two minor pieces. So yeah, maybe it just doesn't work. And I have officially run out of time. I think queen g4, queen b5 can be met by knight c1. I do not have a move. I mean, I forgot to look at rook e3. I just don't think it makes as much sense. Rook e3, knight takes e3. Knight takes, it's the same. This one knight c1 was just so strong. I mean, I probably just have to play queen b5, to be honest. I don't see a knockout blow. So let's play. I've run out of time. Knight c4. Jesus Christ. I mean, it is a move that potentially disrupts the defense. It just doesn't look like he even disrupts the defense in a nice way. I mean, woohoo, you get rid of his bishop. The king takes. I guess the point is then you get knight e3, because knight takes, rook takes. You don't want to sack your queen, that'll just even lose the queen. So knight c4, wow. Knight c4 pawn takes, I guess queen a4 is the idea. Right, and if king c1, then bishop a3 check, king b1. I mean, even rook b6. Wow, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I didn't even think about his queen coming to a4 or his rook coming to b6. I mean, just what a move. And then we'll also bring in another piece to e3. Yeah, what an amazing move. Oh, I see. From Arena, I knew it, says Arena. Okay, Arena, next time, if you think you've got the answer, you have to write it in the chat. Otherwise, I won't believe you. So you're welcome to write it in the chat, because I'm not looking at the chat until after the exercise is done. So always force yourself to write down the move, because then it's like in a real game, you have to make a move in chess. So always write down your final answer if you've got it. So okay, knight c4, very nice. Yeah, and then the queen comes in, bishop comes in, the rook comes in, checkmate very soon. Unbelievable move. So in this position, let's imagine I played queen b5. Let's just check if it was any good. Okay, queen b5 is second best move. Okay, if I missed knight c4, I played the best move in the position. So I am very happy with this, and I also saw that knight c1 is the best response. Okay, c4 is also playable. That is a really, really difficult move to find. c4, and when you don't even take back, you just play knight c3. I mean, yeah, it's hard. And still decent for black. And if knight c1, which is what I was saying, knight c4 only move to play. Okay, Arena is clued up on how these streams work. Perfect. I think we've got time for one or two more, so we'll do that. Yeah, actually, okay, this position is just extremely tough if you don't see this knight c4. Yeah. Okay, nice exercise. Again from Nottingham. Okay, even more from Nottingham. Let's have a look at this. Chod Alexander, okay, is getting beaten by Aliakin. White to play. So we've got queen rook rook, queen rook rook, bishop bishop knight against bishop knight knight. So we've got bishop pair. 1 3 6, 1 3 5 6 7. So we're a pawn down. But we've got bishop pair. Our bishop's on the line of our queen. Our queen is pressuring c7. There is big pressure on our pawn on d5. Although, let's not forget the knight is pinned, so might not be completely possible. We've potentially got some ideas of sacrifices, maybe, if they end up working. Okay, so in this position we're a pawn down but have bishop pair, so let's look for candidate moves to potentially try and win back some material. I really like the look of this bishop takes. We don't have any checks in the starting position. Bishop takes f5, pawn takes f5, knight takes f5. Queen cannot go to any of these squares. Knight g6 is knight e7. Sorry, queen g6 is knight e7. Queen f7 is knight h6. So queen h8 only move. And in that position, surely we have a win. Probably knight h6 check, which forces king g7, and then queen g5 is actually checkmate. So it's just winning a queen or checkmate. I mean, that's good enough. So if bishop takes f5, what if they don't take? Bishop takes f5. They cannot take here because we just take. And this is still hanging. Bishop takes f5. We regain our pawn. We are also threatening the knight, although queen can take. So maybe not. We are threatening to put the bishop on e6 though. Looks very strong. Any counter threats? I really don't think so. Okay, bishop f5. Let's go. Check. And mate. Lovely. Let's go. You have 3,500 of subscribers, only 7 viewers. How can it be? Where are the people? I think the people have jobs. I mean, I have a job as well. I coach chess for a living, but my hours are very erratic. Whereas I think most people have 9 to 5s. And what's the time in UK is 12:34. So I guess most people are working or on a lunch break, who are from the UK and subscribed. I would say that a lot of people are subscribed for the YouTube content only, and they don't really know that I stream. Maybe I should mention it a bit more. But at the same time, I am actually glad that there are only 7 viewers, because otherwise I would have to spend more time responding in chat than I'd like. I mean, I think this kind of level is perfect. I mean, it's a bit of motivation to keep me going, but not so much that it's consuming all my time. Or, you get to the point of like Gotham Chess or Anna Kramling that just have like hundreds of messages each minute, and it's just like you can't even interact with chat at that point. So in a way, it's actually at its sweet spot, in my opinion. And okay, Sessoy, Bishop F5, good job. Okay, let's try and squeeze in one final one. Maybe we'll even have time for 2. Okay, Tartakawa against Aliakin, black to play. Aliakin to win. So we've got Queen Rook Knight against Queen Rook Bishop, go on 3 versus 4. So black is even a pawn up. We've got the Knight versus Bishop. Our king is exposed. Their king is as well. We've got a queen back in the defense. Queen is not a great defender. They do have checks. They have check here. They also potentially have a check here, although there is a pawn. We have all kinds of threats around this king. So okay, candidate moves. I mean, we basically want to win something. Or at least trade into an endgame where we're a pawn up and winning. If we could trade into a pawn endgame, for instance. So, candidates. What checks do we have? We've got Queen H1, Queen H2. We've got Rook F1. What captures do we have? We've got Rook takes C4. And what threats do we have? Maybe Queen H4 is a threat, hitting the Rook. Rook F2 is a threat. Maybe Knight E3 is a threat. Maybe a Knight F2 or Knight H2. So lots of moves with these pieces. Let's go through them one by one. So Queen H1, they just go King H1. Queen H2, check. They just go Queen takes, Knight takes, King takes. We lose a piece. What other checks? What about Rook F1 check? Rook F1 check, they just take back with the Rook. Don't see the point. So okay, captures. Rook takes C4 really doesn't feel relevant. I mean, it feels very risky. I feel like they can attack us back, but maybe they can't. I mean, Rook takes C4. What can we try? Check. Oh, I even pick up the Rook. So maybe as a last resort, I can just win a pawn, and I'm already doing okay. There's also potential for this, right? So, okay, let's look at our knight moves then. I mean, okay, let's look at the other rook moves. Or let's start with the queen. Queen is stronger piece. Queen H4. The bishop is protected. Probably we don't threaten anything, actually. Maybe Queen H4 is threatening Rook F2, actually. Queen H4. Now they can do Rook E8. King F7. Looks good for black, to be honest. Rook F2 coming in next. Queen H4. I mean, okay, let's look at Rook F2 immediately then. Does this even just win on the spot? I mean, if they move out the way, we get checkmate. So Rook F2. If they go Queen G3. Come on, Michael, think. Queen G3 is a nice move. Don't see the follow-up. So what about the knight moves? Maybe Queen H4 was still very promising. We shouldn't forget about this because we cover the G3 square as well. But let's look at if any of the knight moves win. If we go Knight E3, attacking the queen, and they just take it. We do not have this because they just go back. We take it. Do we have any other candidates? We do have Rook G4, but they can block Rook G3. And again, we have nothing. So what about knight f2? Knight f2 threatens some nasty business. Knight f2, they can't take it. Knight f2, what can they try? They can try a check, which loses them a rook. Unless they've got queen g5. But then I can go queen back to g6, trade for queens, and then I'm up a rook. So knight f2, they do not have to check. I mean, knight f2, maybe it just wins. Knight f2. Looks very promising. I mean, even if you get a position where, let's say I go rook g4, and somehow they take my knight, I take, and they take, and I'm playing queen against rook and bishop, I mean, this should be winning. With up a pawn, these pawns will get picked off, I mean, should be winning. So knight f2 looks very strong. I mean, queen h4 looked decent as well, but knight f2, I mean, what do they play? Don't see a single good move. I mean, we're just threatening this rook g4. It looks very, very strong. I think we can go for it. Oh my god, so that's crazy. That knight h2 was the last candidate move, which I did not consider, which is why you should always try and consider your candidate moves. I was just very satisfied with knight f2. I just thought the threat of rook g4 was enough, and I didn't see a way to deal with it. So I guess this is actually better, because you're threatening rook g4 and knight f3. I just didn't get there. For some reason, intuitively, it felt like less effective to go knight h2. Frustrating that I missed it, but alright, let's see if we understand it now. I mean, it, again, looks really good with these options. Annoying. H2. Yeah, it looks good as well. It looks very good for the same reasons. Although it can be taken, which I completely missed. But now I can give this check, right? And then if they come here, I can give this, and this should be winning. So I'm not really sure what was wrong with my knight f2. It wasn't given as an alternative, so let's find out. How much stream time is left? Actually, we are on negative minutes. I was just finishing off this last exercise. Unfortunately, Evgeny. Wow, there is a resource here. I mean, okay, in fairness to me, knight f2 is a winning move, except for this queen c6, which is an unbelievable resource. And there's not a single way we can coordinate these pieces to give mate. That's crazy. Check. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, this is covered by the queen. Knight e3, just I don't think it leads anywhere. Oh wow, only move king h1. Wow, there's actually a difference. Because then the rook gets involved and then there is mate. But king h1, there's no mate. That's unbelievable. The knight has only one discovery, which is to go back. Wow. Yeah, spotting the difference between knight h2 and knight f2 is really, really nice. And this is why I wish Axel Smith put more effort into these tactics. Because, I mean, like, he should give knight f2 as a continuation. And refute it and say that it doesn't work due to queen c6. Because, I mean, otherwise it looks like it also works. And what was the other move I thought looked good? I also felt like queen h4 looked pretty strong. Yeah, so queen h4 is actually the second best move. Threatening this rook f2 idea also looks really good. And I didn't see a continuation after this. Bishop e1 is very cute though. I did not consider this defense. Yeah, this actually is a decent defense, which means that the white king is still weak, white is still pawn down, but no immediate win. So, what are people saying? Irina says she lives in Serbia. Siberia. I read Siberia and said Serbia. Do you know where it is? I've just come home from work. It's evening here, midday your area. Actually, it's even later for me than for you, Irina. I'm actually currently in South Korea, but I will be returning to UK fairly shortly. And yeah, subs are on work. Makes sense. Yep. Are you an avid chess player, Irina? What's your chess story? Hawker said, I thought knight h2 was good with the immediate threat of knight F3. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why it just wasn't in my intuition. I think by my logic is that the knight on the side of a board is generally a bit less active than a knight closer to the center, so you've got more options, and having more options for a knight is generally a good thing. But yeah, the fact that your one option of knight f3 is such a good option, of course, it makes the move stronger. But I think, yeah, I don't know. Maybe intuitively, I need to maybe just look into it just for a split second. I think if I even just considered it for more than half a second, then I would see that this is high potential. Um, yeah, Queen c6 is a very nice idea. Uh, Giving detail to 1,000 puzzles is very hard. Yeah, I know. I'm very mean to Mr. Axel Smith. I just wish that, like, maybe he could have someone like myself go through it and make notes all the way through. I mean, that would just make the quality of the book better. I mean, as an author, you could do that. Yeah, Jenny's actually in Serbia right now playing Paragin. No way. That's the tournament I used to play in all the time. Uh, that's very, very funny. Say hello to Milica and Dunya for me. They're the two arbiters. Arbitresses? That's definitely not a word. The two girls who are normally arbitering the tournament. Very glad that Paragin is still happening. It almost got cancelled. So, yeah, amazing. I will check how you're doing, Yevgeny. Because, yeah, always like to keep up with Paragin. You can tell Dunya and Milica that you know me, and they'll know who I am. Yeah. And definitely I would 100% rec out, Yevgeny, checking out the Sky Bar. The Sky Bar is like such a vibe. It's like it's at the top of Orbis, I think. Orbis Hotel. Sky Bar. It's really good. Is the book for free? No, I had to pay for it. But I mean, with a lot of books, I know that you can't really show their content online. But I've seen like other YouTubers do it, including like Kostya from Chess Dojo. So I think like when it's just a random few exercises here or there, I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, normally I'd have to ask for permission with this kind of stuff, but I need to make use of the book, and if I don't stream, then I don't make use of the book. So that's kind of the situation. But okay, this was very good. I mean, I think I only got 2 mistakes. One of the mistakes actually, I still played a very good move. This knight f2 would require a very strong move from the opponent. So okay, on the whole, another decent calculation session. Same with my session on Monday. Just got to keep this up. Keep this up until my tournaments start. Maybe keep it up during my tournaments. Yeah, get that top focus on, and fingers crossed we will do well in Spain. So thank you guys for tuning in. Yevgeny says it's not as strong as other years, but it's really cool. There's also rapid and blitz. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I will check out how you are getting on, Yevgeny. And welcome, Frizz, and goodbye, Frizz. So yeah, end of the stream, and see you guys on Friday for some more training. Okay, bye.